I had to leave my friends, my home, my everyday routine, and start everything over. And maybe that's the best thing that ever happened to me. Growing up, I've always been asked where you come from, and that was the most difficult question ever because I was born here in Morocco. My parents, my ancestors, and my blood is Moroccan. I lived only 9 months here, and the first language I ever learned was Italian. I eat pasta every day and I drink coffee every morning. And I grew up and lived there for my whole life. And I talk 90% of times in Italian. So how can you define where you come from? Is where your ancestors come from, or where you lived, where you grew up, or where you grew up, or where you want to be when you grow up? And no matter what I do in Italy or here in Morocco, I learn the language, I make friends, and I try to adapt in the culture. You're never considered fully Moroccan or fully Italian. When I was 16, after living my whole life in Italy, I moved to Morocco and I was scared to lose my friends, to learn a new language, to learn a new culture, even though I look fully Moroccan and my ancestors are Moroccan. I thought I was leaving a place, but in reality, I was living a whole version of myself. And the change was so scary because I thought it would be permanent. But in reality, the fear of losing my friends, the fear of not learning a new language, the cultural shock and everything was only temporary. After a while, your brain adapts, and it's so crazy how fast your brain can adapt. Because at first, when I first moved here in Morocco, I had so many cultural shocks. The way people cross the street, the way people dress, the way people talk, their culture and everything was so weird for me. And I didn't imagine that only 2 months after I would be fully adapted and that would become normality for me. The main change for me was the school, because in Italy school was in Italian. Here I do an English school and I never talked like with my friends or anything in English. Like I learned English as a language, but it wasn't normal for me to talk English every day. So like the first day my English was so bad. I used to like trap between words and I was scared that people would think that I was embarrassing, my English was bad, and like the people wouldn't like me because like cultures are different and like they wouldn't have the same jokes as we do in Italy. They wouldn't like talk the same way or act the same way. But after like a week or two, I already adapted and I made friends and everything. So that one thing that could seem like huge for you, after 2 weeks, 1 month, it will be only a memory. Because after I've made friends and learned the language good, I wouldn't think about like being embarrassing or not knowing the language or like scared of losing friends or anything. One thing though I was super scared of, it was that in I left my life in Italy, but I still have my best friends in there, the people I grew up with, and even part of my family. And the thing is that when I moved here to Morocco, people there continued to live their lives, had like new jokes, new things to talk about, other things happened for them, and I didn't know about those things. So I thought that when I would come back, things would be so awkward for me. But even though like the way they talked was different and like new things were funny and new jokes were around, I never felt excluded because I had good friends in there and even my family. Like I always had that feeling of awkwardness at start, but like my friends always comforted me, and even though I felt that I was weird, they always told me that that's not true, that they're still my friends even though I moved out. But I always get that FOMO when I'm here and I see them like on Instagram having fun and hanging out. Like I get that feeling of I wish I was there, but I forget that I have my own life here, I have my own friends, and sometimes I live the moment because I keep thinking, oh, I miss my friends and this and this. But like but as I said before, after a while you get used to this, and that's totally normal. Another thing nobody talks about is that when you come from two countries Yes, I was born here in Morocco, but I grew up in Italy. I have Italian culture. I talk most of the time in Italian. Like when I moved here, I didn't know the language, I didn't know the culture, and I was considered too Italian to be to be fully Moroccan. And in Italy, I'm considered too Moroccan to be fully Italian. So I don't feel home anywhere because I don't have this concept of home. I don't know if home is where I was born or where I grew up or where I want to be. Like in this generation, it's so difficult to feel at home. Like our grandpa's generation, they knew what home was because they grew up in Morocco. They lived their whole life here in Morocco, so they knew they're 100% Moroccan and they feel at home here in Morocco. Like they don't have this internal conflict of not knowing where home is. So where is home? Wherever your people are at, wherever your family, your friends are. But as I said before, I have friends in Italy, I have friends here in Morocco, I have friends in Spain, family, I have family everywhere in Italy, Spain, Germany, Belgium, Morocco. So I never had this concept of feeling home anywhere because like when I'm in Italy, I miss Morocco, and when I'm here in Morocco, I miss Italy. So I always feel different wherever I am. Like even for the fact I wear the hijab in Italy, I always consider it like different because people like they're not used to cover up or like see people covered up. And like even if I talk Italian really good, I act well, I have Italian culture and everything, I have Italian culture and everything, I get judged anyway for how other Moroccans or Muslim people act, for how like other people don't know the language even though they lived there in Italy for 10 years. And that gets me mad because I feel Italian only when I'm with my friends. Like when I'm out of my friend group or like my comfort zone, I always feel judged. Like I don't like going out alone or anything. Like I'm really a person who doesn't care about how people see me or anything. But like when you go out and like, especially in summer, like everyone is, aren't you hot? Aren't you this? And that makes me so uncomfortable sometimes. I don't miss Italy. I miss the version of myself who was living there. I miss the routine, the school, the people that I used to see every day. So I'm not nostalgic of the place. I'm nostalgic of the person I was. Home changed with us and it evolved with us. It evolves with the version of us that is in each place. So we should stop search home and we should start building home around us wherever we are. And maybe everything being temporary isn't life's biggest tragedy. Maybe it's the greatest gift because if nothing would change, neither would we change. So you should learn that friends are temporary, work is temporary, school is temporary, everything is temporary. Nothing goes with you forever. Not even we live forever. You should learn to start living the moment. You should know that no one is here forever, and there's some people that aren't meant to be with you for your whole life, and they're meant to teach you something for a small period of your life and then go away. And I'm a fan of this theory that once people finish their role in your life, you won't meet them again. Like once people finish their circle in your life moves you in different directions. And I want to say that I'm so grateful for everything that happened in my life and the fact that I moved here, and I learned so many new things when I moved here, and I learned a new way of living, and I'm so grateful of the friends I've made here, the life I have here, and the way that here in Morocco I learned how to make new friends, because like I was used to live with the same friends for like all of my like I lived with the same friends for my whole life, so I never had like this ability to make like new friends, know new people, and just like get adapted everywhere. Here in Morocco I learned how to get adapted everywhere I go, to make friends everywhere I go, and I'm so grateful for all of this. Psychology has different concepts to describe this episode. The first thing is identity shift. This is the concept that when you change city, place, or school, you don't change just your external life, but you change even the way you see yourself. For example, I thought that I was moving to another country, but I didn't realize that I was becoming a new person. Another thing is ambiguous loss, and it's the grief of losing something that didn't actually disappear. Like, I lost my life in Italy, but Italy never disappeared. My friends there, my life there, the places I used to go, they didn't disappear. And it's grieving a life that still exists, but without you in it. And I learned even there's a term for people who grew up between two cultures, and it's the third culture kids. It's the concept of people growing up between two or more cultures and then feeling part of no one of them. And there's even the sense of belonging. Like, in ourselves, we feel like we need to belong somewhere, but it's not a necessity to belong somewhere. Like, why do I feel bad for leaving a country? Is because I feel like I need to belong somewhere. But that's just something we invented. It's not a must to belong somewhere. You can belong everywhere. Bye everyone, I hope you enjoyed today's video and see you next time.